to say we are not all like this. It's fine to say, I would rather see us elevate beyond this. But to deny it is what started to annoy me.
I'm gonna tell you something. It made me feel some kind of way about you. That's the real problem.
But I didn't know it was gonna turn into all this.
Well, I didn't know it was gonna turn into.
I believe that.
There's always something that we can be learning, growing, perfecting, shaping, molding, right? The minute we stop evolving, we're dead.
Welcome to DramaDrip, your #1 plug for everything raw, real, and straight up scandalous in the world of celeb drama. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and drop your hottest take in the comments. Now, who would have ever guessed this? Kirk and Rasheeda, yes, Mr. Cheated Again and Miss Boss Cheek herself, just got canceled for real in 2025. It's giving end of an era, but honestly, the way things been crumbling, nobody's shocked anymore. The internet is on fire right now, and the word on the street is that Miss Mona Sky Young didn't just sit back and watch. It was her who pulled the plug. And not just for some petty drama either. She allegedly cut the cord because the couple straight up wasn't sticking to the show's contract rules. And to make it even messier, fans just weren't tuning in like they used to. The sparkle, gone. The hype, dead. Love and hip-hop lost its magic, baby. Now Rasheeda and Kirk out here playing the blame game, pointing fingers at everybody but themselves like they didn't just spend over 10 years stirring up madness on VH1. But let's talk about why this iconic mess of a duo got dropped cold. It ain't just about the drama on screen, it's deeper than that. So get ready, cause it's getting juicy. Kirk and Rasheeda been riding with Love and Hip Hop Atlanta since day one. We're talking a whole decade of chaos. Cheating scandals, surprise kids, rumors of an open marriage, and Rasheeda tossing wigs while staying booked at her press boutique. They weren't just cast, they were the show. People either cheered for them or clowned them, but either way, they brought in views. But behind closed doors, Mona Scott had enough. Insiders say the vibe between Mona and the Frost got real icy the past few seasons, and now the fallout is loud. Rasheeda, who once had fans yelling "bounce jig" for standing tall through all of Kirk's wild mess, allegedly turned into a whole headache behind the scenes. Word is, sis got real difficult to work with. She was out here trying to flip the whole script, literally. Sources say she wanted to control everything. Final edits, what scenes made the cut, and straight up refused to shoot anything that could make her look bad. But like, what brand exactly was she protecting? The bossed-up entrepreneur who stayed with a cheating man brand?
What was the text messages?
The only reason they're gone is because we were arguing about some that don't even matter, and you know me. I'm energy only. Her energy is negative. I don't.
Most insiders say she even stormed out of a production meeting like, I don't need this show no more. That part had the crew side-eyeing heavy. And Kirk? Please. That man wasn't helping anything. He was reportedly showing up late, missing call times, and acting like the staff was below him. Like, sir, you really forgot who gave you that spotlight in the first place? There were even whispers about sketchy brand deals and money drama, fees not getting paid, handshake deals turning into smoke. How you turning on the same folks who built your platform from day one? Together, what was once the ride or die couple turned into pure chaos for the production team. And still, Mona let them slide. For years. Why? Because viewers were hooked on their wild, messy, can't look away kind of love. It was ratings gold. But every producer got a breaking point, and Mona's patience? Gone. Then came the moment it all exploded. What was supposed to be a regular chill shoot about Kirk's latest hustle turned into a whole showdown. Producers had everything locked in for a simple scene, until Rasheeda walked in with that energy. She came in heated, already clashing with producers over how the scene was being set up, and just like that, the drama popped off. Rasheeda straight up snapped on set.
Make me super angry at times and shut down, or it can make me snap the out, and I'm human.
She accused the producers of trying to make her look bad on camera, claimed the whole storyline was fake, and flat out refused to shoot. Then came the screaming match, loud and messy. Word is, she was yelling so loud it echoed through the building, calling producers out by name, accusing them of sabotage, and threatening to walk out mid-scene like she ran the place. It got so out of hand that security had to be called just to calm the storm. And just when everyone thought it couldn't get more chaotic, Boom, Kirk jumped in like, cut the cameras, dead. Of course he took Rasheeda's side. He turned on the whole crew, called them fake, and then went behind Mona's back to hit up network execs, trying to get the entire scene pulled. Like, what? Now pause right there. That one dramatic blow-up cost production thousands. Time is money in this business, and that delay hit hard. Mona was already heated over Kirk and Rasheeda acting brand new, showing out on set like they were bigger than the show itself. But then things took a whole new turn. Mona got tipped off, and what she found out? Whew! Multiple insiders started buzzing that Kirk and Rasheeda had been leaking dirt to bloggers behind the scenes. Not just airing grievances, but dropping negative tea about the show's editing team. They were out here spinning the narrative, making it look like they were victims of shady edits. But wait, it doesn't stop there. These two were allegedly in secret talks with another network. Yep, planning a brand new reality show all about their businesses, family, and personal drama. And here's the kicker. It was suspiciously identical to the same blueprint they built with Mona for over a decade. Business hustle, marriage drama, parenting struggles, the whole formula. They tried to flip Mona's empire and start their own show from scratch. No Mona, no VH1, and no Love and Hip Hop in sight. They took the whole maps and tried to build a mansion right across the street. To Mona, this wasn't just some bold business move, it was full-blown war. This wasn't about two cast members chasing a bag. This was betrayal, plain and simple. Kirk and Rasheeda used the same platform Mona built for them and tried to flip it into competition against her. They didn't just bite the hand that fed them, they tried to take the whole plate, wrap up the leftovers, and sell them at their own little pop-up. But hold on, it gets even messier. After Mona cut ties with Kirk and Rasheeda like a weak Wi-Fi signal, she didn't stay quiet. Nope, she started throwing shade low-key in her inner circle. Word is, Mona began dropping subtle hints that certain cast members had been playing both sides for years. Let's be real for a sec, that comment alone sent shockwaves through the Love and Hip Hop crew. Suddenly, folks on set were side-eyeing each other like who's next? The trust? Gone. Loyalty? Out the window. Mona wasn't playing. She reportedly told her producers, "From now on, we're watching everybody. Anyone who's been acting shady behind the scenes? On the radar." Scripts started getting reworked. Contracts put under the microscope. And get this, they walked away from that whole mess with zero usable footage. After all that chaos, that's when Mona hit the red button. She called an emergency closed-door meeting with her top showrunners and legal squad. Sources say Mona came locked and loaded with text receipts, missed call logs, broken contract clauses, everything. She wasn't playing. Internal memos got fired off to VH1 higher-ups and heads of production. And the language in those memos? Savage. Kirk and Rasheeda were officially labeled non-cooperative, disruptive, and a full-on liability. But the nail in the coffin? That heavy corporate word, insubordination. This wasn't just about one outburst or bad vibes. This was about a whole pattern of disrespect and dragging down production with delays and drama. And just like that, Mona had enough. She gave the green light to cut Kirk and Rasheeda on the spot. No more chances. No final sit-down. No dramatic reunion tears. Just gone. Like they vanished into thin air. And get this. They didn't even get a proper send-off. No exit scene. No farewell episode. Nothing. Kirk and Rasheeda always acted like they were above the drama. Like their storylines were more real than the rest of the cast. But insiders been saying for years, they were dirty playing behind the scenes. Rasheeda especially. She was moving like she was doing the show a favor, wanting all the camera time without any of the mess. Like, ma'am, this ain't an ad for pressed ATL, it's reality TV. And Kirk? He was just as bad. Showing up late, signing deals outside the show's terms, and walking around like production owed him. Like, bro, you're not the prize, you're the problem. Now that they've been kicked out instead of owning it, they're out here blaming everybody else. Like, seriously? Y'all had the fans, the fame, and the platform, but you wanted the clout without respecting the contract? That's not how this game works. Now, the whole fallout's got fans going wild, but it's not just them talking.
The studio with a big book in her hand, and she told me she wrote the song in the car. You know what I like? I don't see nobody in here. You're writing your own.
The rest of the cast? Feeling the heat too. Some are straight up relieved they're gone, but others? Kinda nervous, because let's not pretend like Kirk and Rasheeda were the only ones skating close to the edge. Word is, Spice has been real vocal behind the scenes lately.
So I apologize for that part. What I'm not gonna apologize for is how I feel. So I'm gonna tell you how.
So let me tell you, while you telling me how you feel, you up when you
Ever since her health scare, she's been feeling like the show's been misrepresenting her too. And honestly, a lot of fans agree. People saying she doesn't even need the show anymore. And honestly, they might not be wrong. Yeah, she's still hanging on, but just barely. Rasheeda's been with the show since the dial-up internet days, and baby, it's starting to show. Fans are saying she looks worn out, and at this point, she's just recycling the same drama on repeat like a broken mixtape. But don't even get me started on Love and Hip Hop. Miami? Trina? She been clocked out for like 2 whole seasons, just collecting a check and bouncing. And Pinky Doll? Yeah, no words needed. That one speaks for itself. Now folks are whispering that the entire franchise might be heading for a major shakeup, and Kirk and Rasheeda getting that boot? That might have just been the first domino to drop. But let's take this back to the streets real quick. When all this mess exploded, fans weren't just watching, they were picking sides, speaking facts, and spilling real perspectives. Some people are still riding hard for Rasheeda though. One fan dropped a comment that hit different. Despite what Kirk has done, cheating, lying, the Jasmine drama, Rasheeda's been stuck in that same tired storyline for 8 years. She forgave him. She moved on. So why does she gotta relive it every season? It's exhausting, it's trauma, and it ain't fair. And that's when the convo got deep. Because a lot of people started realizing this ain't just about one couple, it's about the whole system. Mona and her team been accused of exploiting Black pain for views and coins for years. Some fans feel like Rasheeda's been pushed to keep reopening those old wounds, just to keep the ratings hot. And when she finally said, "I'm done," suddenly she gets labeled difficult.
When you've been married for going on 25 years and been in a relationship with somebody who you've lived your life with, you got things to think about before you throw everything away.
Narrative started shifting. Maybe this wasn't just Rasheeda flipping out, maybe it was her hitting her limit in a game that's been stacked against her from the start. Another fan dropped a comment that had folks nodding like, I think they already quit before the whole fired announcement even dropped. And now producers are flipping the script, calling Rasheeda difficult just because she's tired of reliving the same pain over and over again. But let's keep it real for a second. Y'all been calling Mona out too. Folks are dragging her for acting like she alone made Love and Hip Hop pop off, like she's the mastermind behind every success. But hold up, did she forget where this all started? Let's not erase history. Jim Jones and Chrissy were the original blueprint. They came up with the idea first. Mona just ran with it and flipped it into a franchise. And to this day, Jim says he never got credit, never got royalties, and definitely didn't get paid for it.
He was like, sure, let's do it. Let's come up with the whole synopsis and the premise and everything. And that's what we did. We came up with the whole thing and the name, and she involved Emily, and that's how you got Love and Hip Hop.
So when Mona sits in her fancy confessionals saying, I built this empire, fans are side-eyeing hard. Because some are saying Mona stole the whole concept of Love and Hip Hop from Jim and Chrissy and never even cut them a check. She didn't create it. She just refined someone else's vision and claimed it as her own. And let's not forget that wild moment when Mona actually said she feeds the cast, as if throwing them some scraps should be enough. Fans dragged her for that one, like, feeds them. What is this? A zoo? Are they her pets now? Fans were not having it. They said it's giving puppet master energy, not boss energy. People are tired of the whole setup. They're tired of cast members being controlled, exploited, and tossed aside once they speak up. So now that Kirk and Rasheeda might be trying to break away and build something more real, believe it or not, some fans are actually rooting for them this time. Let's talk legacy for a second. Because some folks are out here saying Kirk and Rasheeda really believed they were Love and Hip Hop. Like the show couldn't breathe without them. But one comment had everybody howling, Kirk and Rasheeda think they're Love and Hip Hop, but people forget. Sometimes you're an icon because you're old, not because you're poppin'. Not old and tired too, but honestly, that's a bar. Yeah, Kirk and Rasheeda lasted longer than most, but were they really growing or just stuck in a constant rerun of old drama? At this point, fans feel like they were recycling pain just to stay on camera. Now that they're officially out, it might be time for everybody to take a hard look in the mirror, including Mona. Because here's the real shakeup. With Kirk and Rasheeda gone, the show's got a big gap to fill. Love them, hate them, or just watched out of habit to see if Rasheeda would finally leave Kirk, spoiler, she never did, they were a major piece of the franchise. And now, Mona's allegedly scrambling behind the scenes, switching gears fast. Word is, she's recruiting a whole new crew, younger, flashier, and way messier. Think TikTok famous couples, influencer pairings with chaotic love lives, and relationship drama that comes with screenshots, subtweets, and receipts. She's trying to rebuild with digital clout chasers who bring instant chaos, but here's where things get tricky. Insiders say Mona's cracking down heavy. If you're not obedient, if you're not playing the reality TV game her way, you're out of there. We're talking stricter NDAs, loyalty clauses, tighter storyline control, the whole rulebook getting a revamp. But here's the catch. Fans aren't as easy to fool anymore. They're getting smart. The copy-paste cheating plots and rinse-repeat heartbreak arcs? That formula's looking real tired now. The audience wants real growth, not just recycled tears and side baby drama. And if Mona can't evolve with them, the whole empire might be next in line for a shakeup. The fans want fresh tea, not the same recycled hurt with a new camera angle. And if Mona can't evolve and serve up drama without dipping into folks' real pain over and over, this whole franchise might start giving expired instead of iconic. So now the real question is, what's next for Kirk and Rasheeda? Word on the street is, they're shopping around a brand new show. Rumor has it they're pitching to streaming platforms and Black-owned networks like BET+, Zeus, maybe even OWN. Their goal? A series that puts the spotlight on their businesses, Pressed Boutique, Frost Bistro, and the personal growth they say has been happening off camera all this time. Will it work? Maybe. They've got name recognition, a loyal fan base, especially the folks who are tired of watching Rasheeda stuck in a never-ending heartbreak cycle. Plus, like it or not, they've still got a marriage that's hanging in there through all the chaos. So if they play this smart, they could finally flip the script and control their own narrative for once. But now I gotta hear from you, because this whole saga has everybody in their feelings, and I know you got some opinions. Do you think Mona was wrong for giving Kirk and Rasheeda the boot? Or was it way past due? And if Kirk and Rasheeda really dropped their own reality show, are you watching it? Let's be real, is love and hip-hop even worth watching now that its OG messy couple is gone? Or is it starting to give washed up? Drop your hot takes in the comments below, cause this convo is far from over. And you already know I've got more tea brewing. So hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next spill.